could have expected that? Golden Crow Shu, Golden Armored Man, in order to prevent Wang Lin from striking the final beat on the war monster drum, would actually choose to attack and kill him at the critical moment. The previous message continued. I wanted Ascendant. At this moment, for the first time, Wang Lin felt the call of the Ascendant realm. His right hand pressed upon the surface of the war monster drum, and the sound thump-thump suddenly echoed. Within the drum beat was a profound sorrow, each beat stronger than the one before it. Wang Lin softly said, "Still missing, just a little." The instant his words fell, another deep thump resonated from the war monster drum. The three drum beats combined into a shockwave several times stronger than before, rushing through Wang Lin's right hand and straight into his body. In that instant, nearly everyone heard a sound, pan-pawn, coming from inside Wang Lin's body. Beads of black liquid seeped out from the pores all over him. On the grandstand, the heavenly marshal showed an unprecedented look of admiration. Marrow cleansing. The other monster marshals turned toward Wang Lin, their gazes filled with intense jealousy. They knew well why this drum was second only to the dragon pool within the heavenly monster county. Using the might of an ancient monster to cleanse one's marrow was a qualification only members of the imperial clan of the heavenly monster county were allowed to possess. But now, Wang Lin, a complete outsider, had achieved it. How could they not feel envy? On the plaza, Wang Lin opened his eyes. Every impurity in his body had been completely washed away by the drum beats. At this moment, staring at the war monster drum, he pondered. I, Wang Lin, have cultivated for 700 years. My Tao intent fused with my body long ago and reached completion. Yet I have been unable to step into the Ascendant realm. Now, I understand the reason. Though my Tao intent had fused with my body, my Tao heart was not complete. Deep within me, there was still a trace of sorrow. When Muwan died, my Tao intent rose and fused with my body. But honor became a lingering obsession within me. But today, with these drum beats, I have struck out all my grief. When my heart is free from sorrow and my Tao heart becomes complete, I shall naturally step into Ascendant. Wang Lin raised his right hand, then let it descend lightly. In that brief moment as it fell, the longing buried deep. In his heart for Muwan pressed toward the war monster drum. But suddenly his hand trembled. Within his heart, he asked himself, to do this, is it not the same as choosing to forget? Must I truly forget her? At this moment, standing at the edge of the grandstand, the heavenly marshal seemed to see through Wang Lin's hesitation. He murmured to himself, will he press down? Back then I chose to strike. What will he choose? Ascendant. At that same moment, on the distant river outside the imperial capital, the young man who once drank all night with Wang Lin sat at the bow of a boat and muttered, "You little brat, what will you choose?" Wang Lin's hand still stopped 1 inch above the drum. He stared blankly at the war monster drum. To complete my Tao heart, I must wipe away the sorrow within me. But doing so, is it truly worth it? I, Wang Lin, am a man. I may not be one who can support heaven and earth, but I refuse to betray my conscience. The heavenly Tao is ruthless. If I too become ruthless, then walking this path is not defiance. It is compliance. But my Tao is defiance. To defy this very heavenly Tao, that is my path. Clarity appeared in Wang Lin's eyes. He suddenly lifted his head and a surge of terrifying aura erupted from his body. Then, taking a deep breath, he poured all the sorrow he carried for Muwan into his right hand. Heaven and earth changed color. Countless bolts of lightning formed into raging storms of electric light across the sky. At the ancient battlefield, countless tens of thousands of miles, from the heavenly monster city atop the highest floor of a pitch-black tower, a dark helmet suddenly lit up with a ghostly glow. Within that flickering radiance, a divine sense echoed. Defiant cultivator, excellent. At the imperial capital plaza, the very moment heaven and earth changed color, Wang Lin decisively pressed his hand toward the war monster drum. But at that exact instant, the figure of the golden armored man, Golden Crow Shu, suddenly shot straight toward Wang Lin. He roared, "Die!" Golden Crow Shu fully understood if Wang Lin managed to strike the 15th beat, he himself would certainly meet a disastrous end. Rather than wait for that outcome, he might as well kill Wang Lin now. He did not believe the monster emperor would punish him for this. On the plaza, the heavenly marshal immediately leapt down from the high tower. Golden Crow, Shu, what are you trying to do? But Golden Crow Shu completely ignored his shout. He struck his left hand backward while the heavenly marshal formed a hand seal with his right hand, sending out a streak of black light that collided with Golden Crow Shu's left hand. At that moment on the river within the heavenly monster city, the young man seated in the flower boat suddenly turned cold-faced. Fury flashed in his eyes as he uttered, "Bold Golden Crow, Zhu, you deserve death." As his words fell on the plaza, the golden-armored man's body suddenly trembled. His complexion turned ghastly pale as he exclaimed, "That voice!" At the same time, atop the pitch-black tower in the distant ancient battlefield, the ghostly glow within the dark armor flared intensely. A cold snort containing divine consciousness reverberated. The instant Golden Crow Shoe's words, "that voice," left his lips. An icy force enveloped his entire body. A moment later, the golden armor covering him shattered into fragments. He spewed a mouthful of blood. All of this occurred in the same instant that the Heavenly Marshal's spell collided with him. The Heavenly Marshal's eyes widened in shock. He had meant only to stop him, not to kill. Yet in the eyes of the spectators, it seemed as if Golden Crow Shoe had been grievously injured by a single strike from the Heavenly Marshal. Golden Crow Shoe staggered, spitting out another mouthful of blood. Cracks spread across his meridians. That snort, who released it? Terrifying, far stronger than the Monster Emperor. Having suffered 2 consecutive injuries, the monster force within his body collapsed entirely. Though from the outside, it appeared to have been caused by the Heavenly Marshal. Wang Lin, standing extremely close, knew clearly that the Heavenly Marshal's spell had never even touched this man. Wang Lin's eyes flickered. He suppressed his doubts. This was the perfect chance to kill the golden-armored man. Without hesitation, he grabbed Golden Crow Shoe with one hand and slammed him onto the war monster drum. This was Wang Lin's final strike within the soul transformation realm. He wanted to unleash every lingering thought, every sorrow he had carried through his entire lifetime. Thump! A resonant drumbeat thundered out. Golden Crow Shoe's body instantly collapsed, even his soul shattering under the vibration. Every imprint of his existence in this world vanished completely. He was not killed by Wang Lin, but by those 2 voices that appeared simultaneously. On the plaza, the Heavenly Marshal stared blankly at Wang Lin, sensing the defiant will surging from him. In the Heavenly Marshal's eyes appeared the appreciation of an elder seeing the shadow of his younger self. Among the monster marshals, the remaining 7 wore expressions of extreme complexity. What they valued was not Wang Lin's cultivation, but the fact that Wang Lin had struck 15 drum beats. Striking 15 beats meant he had become, in name, the first person in the Heavenly Monster County to ever push the war monster drum to such a degree. Among the vice marshals, terror swept through the ranks. Among the monster generals, Mo Lihai stared at Wang Lin's back. He now understood that becoming a monster marshal was no longer something to feel anxious about. On the grandstands all around, every spectator still conscious gazed at Wang Lin. Their expressions were no longer of shock but of respect. The respect given to the strong,